And now we get to change that. Do we know what that change looks like? No. Is that scary? Yes. But do we know what we do know looks like? Yes. And is that even scarier? For me, yes. I'd rather move forward into the unknown than to stay stagnated with what I do know that doesn't function and doesn't serve. Welcome to Spiritual Midwife, the podcast that tenderly guides you through the transformative journey of spiritual awakening and personal development towards the ultimate destination of soul sovereignty. I'm Claire Attio, a medicine woman and dedicated guide to the profound realm of soul sovereignty, and you are listening to Spiritual Midwife. Today is Good Friday. In just over a week's time, we've got a massive celestial event that is occurring. And so that's what we're going to dig into, looking at the significance, drawing upon the meanings, and listening to the whispers that are coming in with the energies, learning to attune ourselves and knowing its significance for our soul growth. So on the 8th of April, if you've not yet heard, and I say that very tongue-in-cheek because social media is rife with this celestial event. On the 8th of April, we have a total eclipse that sweeps across North America. And it has ignited a firestorm of speculation and reflection. Some draw the parallels to the biblical tale of Jonah, where a man found himself swallowed by the depths of the sea, only to emerge transformed. And I want you to hold on to that bit. He emerged from the sea transformed. What we're finding currently is we're finding ourselves engulfed by this cosmic dance of the sun, the moon, stars, planetary alignments, and it's hinting at a greater connection to the universe and the interwoven knowledge within the scriptures. And this is why it's really important to just take a breath and step back and to trust in your connection to the divine, to the cosmos. What are these alignments saying to you personally? Not what you're being taught, not what's being said, not what's being said. What does it mean to you? That's the first thing I want to get across, because as I said, this is sweeping across social media. There is a lot of information out there, and it's really important that we take the time to attune and listen to our own intuition, because amidst all this all-inspiring spectacle of this celestial body alignment, there lurks a very shadowy aspect of fear-mongering, who are twisting the ancient prophecies into doom and gloom. I can't put it any other way. The end of the world is nigh type energy going on again, like it did back in the turn of the millennium. And then they were saying, it's written in the scriptures, this is what it says. And that's why I want you to take a breath. That's why I want you to really attune yourselves, because there is a lot of investment energetically, verbally, financially, from those that gain from keeping us in fear, those that gain that keep us for keeping us in worry and woe. And this is why I implore you to resist the siren call of fear and instead embrace these cosmic occurrences with a spirit of discernment and openness. I believe what lies before us is not the end of days, but rather a pivotal moment in our collective evolution. As I always like to call it, the second great awakening. And if you've listened to my other podcasts and if you follow me on YouTube, you would have heard me say that many, many times. This second great awakening beckons us to awaken to our true potential as spiritual beings, having a human experience. And yes, there may be a lot of turbulence and upheaval as we navigate these energetic shifts, these cosmic shifts. But let's not mistake this upheaval for a collapse in our civilization. Its upheaval comes from humanity's resistance to change. We have been programmed to resist change. Change is a bad thing. Change is, well, everybody has their own interpretation of what change means to them and their own emotional response or reaction to change. But change is necessary for us to evolve. But let's also acknowledge that within that change, there will be turbulence, there will be upheaval, there will be chaos. So as we gaze skyward on the 8th of April, let's remember that we're not mere spectators in this cosmic drama, but active participants, co-creators of our shared reality. And the challenges we face are not meant to break us, but to mold us into beings of greater wisdom and compassion. As we prepare to witness the heavens converge in a dazzling display of cosmic choreography. And I do, and I know that sounds very poetic, but I can't help but think of it like that. It's just a very auspicious time. And for me personally, a privilege to be here, to be witness to what's actually going on and to be part of the surgence and emergence of the new era, of a new future for humanity. And so I say, let's do this with our hearts wide open and our minds attuned to this divine song, this divine symphony that's playing out before us. Let's embrace this moment as an opportunity for that growth, for that transformation, and for the realization of our interconnectedness with all of creation, raising that Christ consciousness within ourselves. And I think it's critical in these times of change, in these times of huge shifts, to take a moment to recognize the distinction between what was written in the scriptures and what is being preached about the scriptures, and to remember that the preachers are earthly powers, not celestial godly powers. And yeah, the scriptures speak of times of change and upheaval, but they also remind us of our resilience and our capacity for growth. And it's focusing on that growth, it's focusing on that evolution, it's focusing on that forward movement that is actually going to give us the resilience, the force, the strength to navigate through the complexities of these realities as they show up, and not to succumb to the fear that seeks to divide us, but instead unite in our shared humanity, unite in our shared experience, unite in our shared challenges, even unite in our shared fears, to acknowledge that they exist, but not to sit in them, not to feed them, and not to run with them. Acknowledge them by all means. If that's an emotion that you're feeling, honor it, but also take the time and go, okay, why am I feeling that? Where has that come from? It's usually, for the majority of us, it will be that unknown aspect. The unknown is scary. But for me personally, the known and the deprivation, the sense of lack, the conflict, the unjustness and the unfairness of the known is far more scarier. I'm just going to put it out there. It's that pyramid effect where the masses have been working and receiving nothing, and yet those at the top do absolutely nothing and receive everything. That complete hierarchical system that keeps the majority of us on a hamster wheel that we all know isn't functioning for us. We have the conscious awareness that this isn't what life was supposed to be about. And now we get to change that. Do we know what that change looks like? No. Is that scary? Yes. But do we know what we do know looks like? Yes. And is that even scarier? For me, yes. I'd rather move forward into the unknown than to stay stagnated with what I do know that doesn't function and doesn't serve. So I want you to just kind of take a minute. I want you to just take a breath, just relax into knowing that these energies are coming forward. There's a lot going on. As I said, we've got that total eclipse across the North America on the 8th of April. April also sees some massive solar flares going on, which again shifts the dynamics within the energy. It shifts the incoming energies, and it does play with our biomagnetic fields, our energetic fields. So we are going to physically feel that. We've got other planetary alignments going on. We're currently in Mercury retrograde, so we've got those karmic lessons coming back to us if we haven't actually learnt them, or we've got them kind of showing their head for a little bit of a review to kind of tick that box and let it go, as it were. There is a lot going on. There are a lot of changes occurring. These shifts will create global change, global conflict. It has the potential to do that. Let's not pretend that it doesn't. It does have the potential to do that. The shifts themselves has the potential also to create natural events on Earth, like earthquakes. There's a lot of unknown potentials out there, a lot of which can be perceived as negative. But I want to remind each and every one of us, myself included, that even though the perception is negative, when we look through history, when there has been a massive natural disaster or even a man-made disaster, there has always been something good that has come out of it. And so I want us to remember that we're all custodians of this planet, stewards of this new future. And it is through our collective action and compassion that we will weather any storm that may come our way. And so with that said, as we prepare for the alignment of April 8th, let's do so with a sense of reverence and a sense of awe, knowing that we are part of something greater than ourselves. Let us embrace the lessons of these celestial events, knowing that they're not sent to harm us, but to guide us on our journey of self-discovery and evolution. And I say that because I truly don't believe it's an indication of the world coming to an end. I believe it's a wake-up call. As I said, the Great Awakening, but in the sense of if we bring it into kind of something tangible so we can visualize it, an alarm. And for some of us, that will be a gentle buzzing, waking us up, waking and shifting the level in our consciousness. And for others, it will be a real wake up with a bucket of ice cold water. Each of us have different experiences. Each of us are in different places energetically, vibrationally. And so how we experience these changes, these shifts, will be different for all of us. Our experience will be different. Collectively, we are safe. Collectively, not only will humanity prevail, but it will excel. And as I say that, I'm reminded of a post I put out very early in the beginning of 2020. And we all know what happened in 2020. And I was living in Spain at the time, and the divine messages were coming thick and fast at the time. That, you know, again, we were very aware, those of us that connect with the energies, those that intuitively feel into the energies, with the messages were coming thick and fast. What's going on? You know, we could feel something coming, we could feel something massive coming. And the message I was getting then was, don't focus on mainstream media, focus inwards. That was coming very loudly from my team. And I'm reminded of that now. Don't focus on mainstream media, focus inwards. And that's why I said at the very beginning of this podcast, just take a breath. What is this meaning for you? Do you feel safe? Are your family safe? Is your community safe? Ask those questions for yourself. I can guarantee you it will come back as yes, yes, and yes. Birth isn't without pain, but it's not the pain we remember when we hold the new life in our arms. What we remember then is the joy, the anticipation, the love. As I said, change can be a scary thing. Let's honor any fears that come up, but let's not feed them. Let's not sit in them. Let's understand that it's a moment in time, a process of passage into something new where we evolve. I'm going to leave it there. If you have liked the content, then please rank it so it can get out and reach more people and allow more people to have greater balance. There's a lot of information out there. Very little of it is a balanced approach. These occurrences are occurring for us to grow, for us to evolve, for us to step into adulthood. It's like an initiation from childhood to adulthood for humanity. It's not sent to hurt us. Just keep that in mind. Know that you're safe. God bless you all.